Increasingly, Americans are being told that suicide is valid treatment for disease. 6 states, including California, have legalized assisted suicide. More states are considering it, and of course, many will pass it. Of course, patients can simply kill themselves rather than receive expensive medical care. Do we risk having the right to die become a duty to die? Are economic pressures going to play a role in this? Amy Peikoff is a talk show host, liberal, very smart, though. She supports assisted suicide. She joins us tonight for a conversation about it. Amy, thanks for coming on.
Hi, thanks for having me back to discuss another important topic, Tucker.
Well, I think this is important, and here's my concern. Look, I don't want to make a case against assisted suicide. I personally am opposed to it, though I understand why people would be for it, and I hesitate even to get involved in that. I just want to make an obvious point, though, and I'm sure you've thought about this. Why wouldn't there be enormous economic pressure brought to bear on a system that spends a huge percentage of all expenditures in the last months of life pushing people to kill themselves? Why wouldn't that happen?
There are always going to be economic pressures in life. That's kind of the nature of life. But in terms of this idea of a duty-to-die culture arising simply because of this law, I just don't think it could happen. I think there have to be a couple other factors at play, which I hope to get to. I mean, to me, the situation that you're concerned about, the one in which somebody would feel that they have a duty to die, maybe because of pressure from unscrupulous family members who want to hang on to money or whatever it is, that sort of scenario is to me like the scenario of the homeschool in California run by the Turpins, this horrific, disgusting, abusive so-called homeschool. And I would no more take a case like that as a reason to curtail the right to school your children at home than I would to deny the availability of humane treatment at end of life to human beings, the same sort of treatment that we give to our animals.
Okay, but wait, why wouldn't health insurers see what's obvious? They have a massive incentive to, and I'm not saying they're doing this now, but I believe they will. Why wouldn't they? To encourage people to get off of their insurance, stop costing all this money. If you have COPD, or you have some advanced cancer, it costs them a ton of money to keep you alive. Why wouldn't they exert pressure on you to kill yourself and save them untold millions? I just don't understand why that's going to happen.
But first of all, you have to have safeguards in any law like this, right? So you're going to have to make sure that the person's making the decision voluntarily. It's not due to pressure from other people, that it's not due to a depression, right, where it's just depression talking, or whether, you also have to check and make sure that they have a real reason that they would want to die, that a rational person would say, given the suffering that I have before me, that's all I have, that I would want to do this. But let me tell you what I think is at play in terms of potentially creating a duty to die culture here. I think there's two things. One of them is the way that medicine's going right now. We have a large segment of our market is socialized already, socialized medicine, and I know you don't like socialized medicine. And in addition to that, there are other perverse incentives that are created because of government interference in the medical industry. It makes medicine more expensive, so it makes the economic pressures more likely. The second thing is the thing that has, I think, given rise to socialized medicine, and it's the place where you and I probably disagree. It's the altruist ethics in our culture. In our culture, it is almost universally upheld to be moral to sacrifice your interests to the interests of other people, to act out of duty.
Exactly.
And so if you see that you're going to be able to do your duty and sacrifice for, say, your family members and cost less money, or cost less money for society at large because of socialized medicine or whatever, by choosing to die earlier, then you might feel pressured into it. But the answer then is to reject socialized medicine and to reject the altruist morality.
Because you come on, we're supposed to debate, and you make my case more crisply and in a more compelling way than I managed to. I think we're just going to clip the last minute and a half of you talking, and I should scare the crap out of anybody who's for physician-assisted suicide, because that's going to happen. You're right. We're not changing socialized medicine, and we're not changing human nature. We're going to get pressured to die.
No, I think we are going to change socialized medicine. We are going to change human nature. And the answer to the fact that those controls are creating perverse incentives is not to take freedom away from people, Tucker. Freedom is messy, but I don't think we should have a duty to die, and we shouldn't have a duty to live, particularly if living costs constitutes
the freedom
suffering.
to kill themselves, and many do, sadly, in increasing numbers. The question is whether you want the system to play a role in that. Do you want doctors and health insurers to be staying on the sidelines, nodding you on as you do it? No.
No rational doctor would want to help a patient end his or her life unless those safeguards that I talked about were there, right?
Okay, we'll see. I'm sorry, we're out of time. That was interesting as always with you. Come back, Amy. Thank you.
Thanks very much.